How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Each One, Reach One. We're continuing our video study today, Christianity versus the Bible. Christianity versus the Bible. That sounds like an oxymoron to Christians. That sounds like an oxymoron to anybody that's not learned. But I thought Christianity and the Bible goes hand in hand. How can Christianity and the Bible be two opposing forces? How? Doesn't make sense. No, it doesn't make sense to you. It wouldn't make sense to me either if the only thing that I knew about the Bible, I learned through Christians. I learned through the lens of Christianity. If I just listened to what the world told me about the Bible, I would be confused. I would be lost. I wouldn't understand. It wouldn't make sense. So I get it. And I also get the reason for that. I know who's the reason for the season. Who's responsible for putting everybody in gross darkness? The Most High himself. He won't allow you to understand because it's not for everybody. It's not for everybody. He only allowed the enemies of his people to use the book for themselves as a way of preserving it for his children. That's the only way. Otherwise, they would have destroyed the book. They would have destroyed all the information, and we wouldn't have been able to have the information unveiled to us in due season. So he let our enemies believe that the information belonged to them, that they had an inheritance, that they could take part in the promises of the book. That way they would spread the gospel. He put his enemies to work for him. He made his enemies, the enemies of his children, preserve our beloved treasure, our beloved text. Because you better know, if you know the character of these people, look at all of our historic records that they burned and destroyed, because there was no way they could make any of that, slanted in their favor. See, they had an ability to slant the Bible in their favor a little bit via Christianity, via giving revised versions of the Bible to the people. That's the reason for all the revisions. That's the reason why there was a slave edition of the Bible. Why a slave edition of the Bible? Because there was so much of it they had to take away. They had to take out so much of it because it told who the people were. They didn't want the people to read and hear and know that the book was about them, that it was for them, that it was to them. So they had to edit the book. They had to take out a great chunk of the book to hide the true people. Why do you guys think they took out the Apocrypha? Many Christians don't even believe in the Apocrypha because their masters, their people took it out and told them, you can't read it. You can't read it. It's evil to read that part of the book. They don't question it. They don't question how it could be evil if it was part of the book. If it was original part of the manuscript, how could it be evil? How could it lead me off? How could it lead me astray? Why do you not want me to read it? Christians don't ask that question. They just trust that because, they're white and I'm white, they got my best interest at heart, and they wouldn't lie to me. They wouldn't lie. Yeah, yes, they would. And they did. Because if you understand your own history, Gentiles, you guys were super animalistic, very much so. Came out of those caves, boy, you guys had animal tendencies. They had to give you something that would make you aspire to a higher level of consciousness, to get you out of your animal state, right? To make you feel like, you're supposed to be doing better. See, that's what it is. See, the same way they were able to use books and use miseducation in order to convince the so-called Negro that they weren't Israelites, that they were Africans, and that they were just a slave people, and that they weren't shit. The same way they programmed us that way, they had to program you Gentiles just with the opposite. They had to do the opposite programming to you that was done to us. had to program you into not thinking that you were worthless because you were, and to thinking that you were more than you were, better than you were, so that you can try to be better than you were because you guys were just super heathenistic. You were like actual animals. They had to tame you with this word, tame you with the idea of salvation and give you this construct. So they created religion as a way to control you. The Bible is not a religious book. It's not a religious book, but it was used for religious purposes. Right? We know this. But going on a tangent. All right, going on a tangent. I didn't even properly open up this video yet because that was just on my mind, man. Because I just, it's just hard to believe sometimes that what they were able to do. But when you know who did it, who's responsible, it's really not that hard to believe. But I'm speaking this way for those people who don't understand the spiritual aspect of things, what the Most High did, what He's capable of, and why. Right? I'm just trying to give them a carnal understanding, a way to reach them because they can't understand spiritual things. But I still want them to get some sort of understanding out of this. I don't want them to just listen to this and everything to go over their heads because I'm talking spiritual things and they can't comprehend it. But anyway, all right. I know you guys are waiting for this. Sound off. Let us give all praise, honor, and glory to our glorious Father, Yahweh. Blessed be thy name, Father. And to our beloved Lord and Savior, our Master and Redeemer, the only begotten Son, the first fruit of the first fruits, Yahweh Shai. All praises due. I pray that this lesson is blessed today, that you guys are all edified, and that the Most High, He watches, He listens, He sups with you. And if you are meant to get this information, He will water the seeds that are planted today, and He will provide the increase. Shout out to my family out there of the elect of Israel. I can't forget about you guys. I love you. Thanks for tuning in. Every last one of you, man. I got a great family out there. You guys stay supporting this work. You're supporting the ministry, supporting what we're all doing here and building in these last days on behalf of our power. It is no small thing for you to be here. No small thing. It is a major deal. All right. Thank you for your ears, everybody. Each one, reach one if you can. All right. Don't sweat yourself. Don't put yourself out there trying to, though, because it's not for everybody. Without further ado, let's get into the scriptures. Picking up in Isaiah chapter 5, beginning in verse 1. Now will I sing to my well-beloved, a song of my beloved, touching his vineyard. My well-beloved hath a vineyard in a very fruitful hill, and he fenced it and gathered out the stones thereof, and planted it with the choicest vine, and built a tower in the midst of it, and also made a wine press therein. And he looked that it should bring forth grapes, and it brought forth wild grapes. And now, O inhabitants of Jerusalem and men of Judah, see, you notice the separation between Jerusalem and Judah. It's a constant separation here in the Old Testament. After the days of Solomon, after the days of his son, when the kingdom was split during the rulership of his son, Israel and Judah became separate. The Most High kept Judah close to him, and he sent wicked Israel off because they were more wicked than Judah, because they went strongly after idol worship. Okay? This is the reason why there has been a schism between the northern kingdom, the 10 tribes, and the southern kingdom of Judah. Okay? This is the reason why Yahweh Shai, who you call Jesus, had to come back. He had to recover them. He had to turn the two folds into one fold once again. He had to bring back all the scattered of the house of Israel, like he said he would. I am not sent, but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Okay? The northern kingdom was divorced and cast away. They lost his name. They couldn't call themselves Israel anymore. He took their identity from them. He took away their customs and culture. He said, oh, you want to go after other gods? Well, go ahead. Go after them wholeheartedly. You're not gonna pay me half-ass tribute and honor and respect. No, 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 no. Go after them completely with all your heart. I'm gonna hand you over to the people and to whom you try to cling to and want to befriend, and to the gods which you want to serve that are not me. I'm gonna hand you over to them, and you're gonna have to see what it's like to be under their rule. So they went into many different captivities. And at the time of Yahushua, they were the Gentiles by practice, the Gentiles by custom and tradition, not by blood. The exact same way the current Judites, the current people call themselves Jews, are Jews by practice, not by blood. Okay? Again, think about this. The Southern Kingdom, before I get into continue, the Southern Kingdom were still practicing their customs, still speaking Hebrew. They were Hebrew Israelites, still speaking in their native tongue. Okay? Remember this. Hebrew Israelites, still practicing their customs and traditions, still speaking in their native tongue. Right? Who were the people that went out and witnessed to the Gentiles that you speak of, that we hear of in the New Testament? Yahushua was a Judite, right? He was a man of Judah. He was a Hebrew-speaking man. He spoke Hebrew. All of his disciples and his apostles were, all of his apostles were Hebrew-speaking, right? Right. So if his apostles were Hebrew-speaking men and they were sent out to go do all this work, and they're going out everywhere that they were going to Israelites. I'm trying to tell you this. They were going out to Israelites. They were Hebrew-speaking men. Who the fuck do you think they were talking to when they were going out and witnessing to people? They were speaking to people who spoke Hebrew. Damn. The Northern Kingdom Israelites, the Gentiles you speak of, that Paul went to, Paul was a Hebrew-speaking man. He didn't go speaking to native Greeks by blood. He was speaking to people who understood Hebrew, who spoke his same language. That's who he spoke to. His disciples, those who were with him, same thing. They all witnessed and spoke to Hebrew-speaking people. Okay? Damn. All right, I just have to gather myself because fuck, man, just like the stupidity, man. And the reason why I'll be so aggy is because I'll be having encounters with these people who actually want to try to debate and argue the scripture, the stuff that's right there, and they'll fight you tooth and nail within their ignorance. Like they're ignorant of the scripture, and they will ignorantly stand on their ignorance and belligerently try to convince you that you're the idiot. And all you're doing is using logic, like the logic of it. I beat people to fucking death regularly, routinely, I'm telling you, with logic. And it still doesn't matter. All praise is due to the Most High, Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushua. He is responsible. He is responsible, I'm telling you. He exercises me all the time and makes sure I stay in remembrance of the fact that it's him that has done this unto them, the way it was him that put us, his people, in gross outer darkness. All right? So this is for you guys who are Israelites. Don't be frustrated. I mean, not frustrated, because you're going to be frustrated. Don't kill yourself and stress yourself out. That's the better way to put it. Don't stress yourself out trying to convince anybody of anything. You can't convince them of anything. No one can make straight that which the Most High made crooked. If he want them to be in darkness, you can't pull them out. He has to want that individual to be enlightened. He has to remove the veil. He has to unclog their ears and give them the spirit of discernment and understanding. If he doesn't do it, it won't happen. And that means it wasn't for them. So take his message, say, yes, sir, and move on. That's how you do it. All right. All right. Continuing on, you guys. Verse 3. And now, O inhabitants of Jerusalem and men of Judah, judge, I pray you, betwixt me and my vineyard. What could have been done more to my vineyard that I have not done in it? Wherefore, when I looked that it should bring forth grapes, brought it forth wild grapes. And now go to. I will tell you what I will do to my vineyard. I will take away the hedge thereof. That's the protection, the covering. And it shall be eaten up. That's what happened to his people. And break down the wall thereof, and it shall be trodden down. And I will lay it waste. I will lay it waste. See, these people weren't strong enough and mighty enough to take us down on their own. They could never have done to us what happened to us on their own. They aren't built for it. They're fucking weak. Look at them. They are the same today as they were back then. Fucking weak. And I will lay it waste. It shall not be pruned, nor digged, but there shall come up briars and thorns. I will also command the clouds that they rain no rain upon it. For the vineyard of Yahweh of hosts is the house of Israel, without mistaking. His vineyard, the vineyard of the Lord of hosts, Yahweh the Father, is the house of Israel. Not everybody of the earth. We're all God's children. No, you're not. We're all creatures of God. Sort of. He puts a difference between all of us. He does have a chosen people. Okay. Who are they? The house of Israel. Okay. For the vineyard of the Lord of hosts is the house of Israel, not the house of the Christians, not the house of the converts, not the house of the spiritual Israelites. All right. And the men of Judah. You hear that? The house of Israel and the men of Judah is pleasant plant. And he looked for judgment, but behold, oppression, for righteousness, but behold, a cry. Sound familiar? There is no judgment. These people oppress us, destroy us, persecute us. Go to court. What happens? Not guilty. They hold themselves not guilty. There is no righteousness, just us crying out. We're the people of the book. They don't fit. Verse 8, woes for the wicked. See, we were wicked at one point in time, and there were woes for us. But see, this isn't just talking about us. He means all of the wicked. He meant the wicked of his people and the wicked of all the other nations. Now, the 1/3 of us, we have been cleansed and made righteous. We are not the wicked, but 2/3 of his own people are still wicked. And all the wicked people of all the other nations are wicked. And there are woes guaranteed for you. All right? You can't get out of it by calling on Jesus. That's the lie they told you, to make you people feel good about your destruction that you have coming, to make you feel good about the kind of people that you know you are. Your own spirits convict you. This is the reason why they had to try to teach you that you can be saved by calling on Jesus, because you guys know in your spirits that you are a filthy, hypocritical, evil people. Woe unto them that join house to house, that lay field to field, till there be no place, that they may be placed alone in the midst of the earth. In mine ears, said the Lord of hosts, of a truth, many houses shall be desolate, even great and fair, without inhabitant. You hear that? Many houses shall be desolate, even great and fair, meaning beautiful, even great and beautiful, without inhabitant. Which people have the great and beautiful houses right now. They will be laid desolate. Why is that? Because people are going to be destroyed. They're going to be plucked out. They're going to be taken out of there. See? Because it's going to have to be room made for the Israelites to repopulate the earth. That's what we're going to do. You remember the days of Noah? It's going to be like that again, except it's going to be more than 3 people. It's just going to be the elect of Israel. We're going to be repopulating, right? We're going to be repopulating, and the other nations will only be preserved for servitude. You will have babies only to make sure that we have servants. Con? Mm-hmm. Yea, 10 acres of vineyard shall yield 1 bath, and the seed of an homer shall yield an ephah. Woe unto them that rise up early in the morning, that they may follow strong drink, that continue until night, till wine inflame them. And I just want to say this because even among our own, we got to make this clear. It is not the spirit of the Most High. If you are feeling the need to get drunk and you're trying to drink away your sorrows and so forth, that is an indicator that you are not one of the children of the Most High. You are 2/3 that don't know it yet. You're hoping to be one of the elect. You're hoping that you can claim. You're hoping that you can get out of your judgment, but your spirit convicts you. See, because when the Holy Spirit comes upon you, the Most High, he takes away those crutches. He gives you no need for the crutch. He spiritually fills you up and he heals you and he makes it so that you don't need those crutches. Can't let go of your weed. Can't let go of, you're drinking too much, getting drunk all the time. That's a great sign that you are not of the elect. You are not of the elect. I know this is going to hurt some people, not just for you Christians, but even among the Israelite community. This is a hard pill to swallow. You may be looking around and you got brothers, you got people that you love and you love them and they're calling on the name and, they're saying they love them, but they can't get right. They can't get right. Why is that? Because he won't let them. The same way he won't let these people come out of gross darkness and understand these spiritual things, he won't let these people that don't belong to him, he won't let them let go of the crutches that they have to this world. He wants to be your crutch. If he's not your crutch, if you need strong drink and weed as a crutch, you don't have the spirit. You don't have the spirit. It is an indicator of who you are. All right, but I harped on that long enough. I gotta keep it real. Everybody ain't gonna say it. I'm gonna say it. No respecter of persons, right? That's what he says. Be no respecter of persons. Call it like it is. Call it like it is. If you were smoking and drinking, you know what I'm saying, and in excess individual, the Most High can't use you. He can't use you. You are not strong enough. You're not strong enough. He's not working in you. Trust me. I know. Cold turkey. I used to smoke. I used to be a weed smoker and drinker. Never a drinker in excess. Alcohol had never been my thing, but I used to be a weed smoker, 6 times a day at least smoker. When the Most High, when he came upon me and poured his Holy Spirit upon me, cold turkey. Smoking, done. All alcohol of all types, done. I don't even drink non-alcoholic beer or drinks like that. That's out. Don't even drink shit like soda and shit anymore. I drink water and tea and shit. You feel what I'm saying? Don't smoke. Don't do any of that shit that defile me. None of that shit. Because that stands in between me and the Most High, me being his temple, me being a vehicle and a vessel for him. He wants to dwell in you. He wants to dwell in you. When you come back to him, he becomes part of you. What do you think it means to be part of the body of Hamashiach? What do you think that means? You become one. You become one. You think he wants to become one with a fucking drunk? One with a fucking inebriated and high motherfucker who's high all day? You think that's what the fuck he want? He gonna be one with you? Sorry, fam. Sorry, fam. I gotta be the one to tell you. dig what I'm saying? I got to be one to tell you, you're in error. You're kidding yourself. You are kidding yourself. You gonna be one of those people, he gonna say, depart from me, you that work iniquity. He gonna say, I don't know you. I don't know you. I was never one with you. Who are you? You are not part of my body. I have never dwelt in you. You are not a temple I've ever visited. How could I visit you? Why would I visit a filthy temple? And a lot of y'all out there are like, man, I've never even considered that. Exactly, I know. Cry loud, spare not. Tell my people Israel their transgressions. So y'all had to get that, Israel. You know what I'm saying? I know this is for the Christians, but the Spirit just hit me. It came upon me right now. And all, like I said, I just do what the Spirit tell me to do. The Spirit takes over. I'm just the avatar. You get what I'm saying? So that was for somebody. That was for you. If you felt convicted, you need to start doing what you got to do. You got to correct the ship if you can. If you can. All right? All right, verse 12, continuing on. And the harp. Okay, just making sure that I'm not picking up in the wrong place. Okay, all right. So, and the harp and the viol, the tabret and pipe and wine are in their feast, but they regard not the work of the Lord, neither consider the operation of his hands. Y'all hear that? You hear that? You don't even consider the operation of his hands. You don't regard the work of the Lord. If you regarded his work, then you would understand how things work. You yourself don't understand spiritual matters. Therefore, my people are gone into captivity. Therefore, his people remain in captivity and will not come out of the captivity. They're going to pay a price. Going to pay the price. If you aren't one with him, you are one of the 2/3 and you're going to pay the price. Because why are they going into captivity? Because they have no knowledge. They have no knowledge. Even among us, Israel, there are those of us who are in captivity right now because they have no knowledge. The Most High will make a way for you when you seek knowledge and wisdom and you begin to be transformed. You're supposed to be transformed. If you're the same old you, doing the same old things, you have not been transformed. You're still in captivity. Why? Because you have no knowledge. And their honorable men are famished, and their multitude dried up with thirst. Therefore, hell hath enlarged herself and opened her mouth without measure. And their glory and their multitude and their pomp, and he that rejoiceth shall descend into it. Right? Hell is not a place. It is a condition. It is the state of being at the bottom. It is poverty. It is the lower state of being. Okay? The lower state of being. And the mean man, not mean like, oh, he's mean as in average. If anybody knows math, for the math heads, mean, it's an average. And the mean man shall be brought down. And the mighty man, you see that? See context? See, mean man, the average, and the mighty. See the comparison between the average man and the mighty man? See, that's what's going on here. You got to understand. You got to be a wordsmith. Okay? And the mean man shall be brought down, and the mighty man shall be humbled. And the eyes of the lofty shall be humbled. Same is right now. This is applied back then and applies now. The average man shall be brought down. And the mighty man, all of these rulers, right? All the people, the rich people and the people with money and power and influence, they're all going to be humbled. They're all going to be humbled. The eyes of the lofty shall be humbled. All of them with their great aspirations and lofty dreams, ideals and goals and everything else, they're going to be humbled. They're going to find out that things are completely contrary and different than what they've learned, what they understand, and what they believe. Doesn't matter how you feel. Your feelings don't change what is and what will be. Verse 16, continuing on. But Yahweh of hosts shall be exalted in judgment. He shall be exalted in judgment. These people are not righteous. They don't believe in proper judgment. They don't hold themselves accountable for anything. He said he will be exalted in judgment, in his judgment of his enemies, his judgment of all the nations. He's going to be exalted. And the power that is holy shall be sanctified in righteousness. There is no righteousness in the land. There will only be righteousness once the Israelites return to rule. Even the animals, the sea, everything in creation will rejoice when the Israelites return to power. Verse 17, then shall the lambs feed after their manner. In the waste places of the fat ones shall strangers eat. Woe unto them that draw iniquity with cords of vanity, and sin, as it were, with a cart rope, that say, let him make speed and hasten his work, that we may see it. And let the counsel of the Holy One of Israel draw nigh and come, that we may know it. Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and and light for darkness. Lightness. And light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. That's the working of this world. That's the working of the devil. He flips everything upside down. Everything gets turned upside down. Woe unto them that are wise in their own eyes and prudent in their own sight. I'm speaking to you Christians. You're wise in your own eyes. You're not wise by the standard of wise. You're wise in your own eyes, meaning you're really a dumbass who thinks he's smart. You think you're prudent, just in your own sight. You're in a delusion. You're living a delusion. Woe unto them that are mighty to drink wine. What does woe mean? This is his promise. Destruction. Destruction. You drink too much, constantly being drunk. It's a sign that you're lacking the spirit. You're convicted. Your soul is convicted. Your mind can say whatever your mouth can say, whatever your mind convinces it to, but your spirit is what it is. Your spirit is convicted. So you cling to strong drink, right? You're mighty to drink wine, right? Woe unto them that are mighty to drink wine, and men of strength to mingle strong drink, which justify the wicked for reward and take away the righteousness of the righteous from them. Let me say this, roughly paraphrasing, I can't remember exactly where it was, but it said strong drink or wine is, strong drink is prepared for him. How does it go? Who is set to die? I can't even remember how it went exactly, but you guys know what I'm talking about. Strong drink is prepared for him who is scheduled to die, right? So we know why Yahushua drank his wine, right? Now, what I say that for is this: if you are one of the elect, you know that we are not appointed to wrath. Why the fuck are you drinking strong wine, strong drink all the time? Why are you drinking and getting drunk like somebody, like a sorrowful spirit who's on his way to the slaughter? You shouldn't have that spirit. You should have a joyful spirit. If you're drinking and shit all the time and smoking and shit heavy all the time, that's your spirit. You're trying to calm your spirit. You're afraid. You have the spirit of fear. You're terrified. You can't face what is and what's to come. That ain't the spirit of the elect. Your spirit is telling on you. Look yourself in the mirror and take account. Verse 23, was justify again the wicked for reward and take away the righteousness of the righteous from him. These people have done this to us. Therefore, as the fire devoureth the stubble, and the flame consumeth the chaff, so their root shall be as rottenness, and their blossom shall go up as dust, because they have cast away the law of the Lord of hosts, and despised the word of who? The Holy One of Israel. The Holy One of Israel. Therefore is the anger of the Lord Yahweh kindled against his people, his people, not the people, and because he has a people that's precious to him. And he has stretched forth his hand against them. He stretched forth his hand. When he says stretch forth his hand, that means destruction. He brought destruction upon these people. He did this to his children, his chosen, his people. What the fuck do you think is going to happen to the rest of you? You think white man Jesus is going to get you out of trouble. That's delusion. That is delusion. And hath smitten them, and the hills did tremble, the smallest of the people, and their carcasses were torn in the midst of the streets. You see that now. We're constantly killed in the streets. Our deaths are public knowledge. You see it, they see it all over the internet, worldwide. Everybody get to watch the Israelites being murdered, being killed, being gunned down for little to nothing to a whole lot of something, right? For all this, his anger is not turned away, but his hand is stretched out still. And he will lift up an ensign to the nations from far, flag, and will hiss unto them from the end of the earth. And behold, they shall come with speed, swiftly. None shall be weary nor stumble among them. None shall slumber nor sleep. Neither shall the girdle of their loins be loosed, nor the latchet of their shoes be broken, whose arrows are sharp and all their bows bent. Their horses' hooves shall be counted like flint, and their wheels like a whirlwind. He's talking about these people coming against these people. He's telling them, I'm going to bring them against you. I'm going to bring them against you. I'm going to power them up. I'm going to be their power. I'm going to weaken you, and I'm going to be their strength. I'm going to bring these people upon you to execute my judgment on you, because that's what they were created for. They're vessels of wrath, right? They are the sword of the Most High. They are the belt, his whipping stick, his instrument of correction, right? It's an instrument of correction, like you grabbing the belt to discipline your kids. He grabbed these people. He used these people as the belt to whip his children into shape. Their roaring shall be like a lion. They shall roar like young lions. Yea, they shall roar and lay hold of the prey, and shall carry it away safe. And what? And none shall deliver it. None shall deliver it. How did those people get in that land over there? Because they were able to get, different countries to come together for them, you know what I'm saying, and fight for them and take them and out of the land and help put them in another land. None shall deliver it. They were never in slavery. They were never taken into captivity into all the nations. And they're still supposed to be at the end of time. When he returned, at the end of time, his people are still supposed to be ruled over by their enemies. They're still supposed to be oppressed. They should still be oppressed in these times. Whoever are the Israelites should be getting oppressed and persecuted all throughout the world right now. They should have no power, no might in their hands, because only he is the savior of his people. And he has not come to save his people yet. They are still supposed to be getting the last bit of their punishment. Which people does this fit? None shall deliver it. And then that day, they shall roar against them. They shall roar against them like the roaring of the sea. And if one look unto the land, behold darkness and sorrow, and the light is darkened in the heavens thereof. The light is darkened in the heavens thereof. We were the heavens. We were the rulership. We were the people above, and our light has been darkened. It had been darkened. 1/3 of us, the elect of us, we have the light again. We have Yahweh Shai. He is our light, right? We are the candle being set upon the hill again. We cannot be hidden. This information cannot be hidden. You can't put it back in the box. You can't turn back the hands of time. You can't go back. You can't make America great again. Yeah, you feel me? That's what they mean when they say that. They talking about they wish they can rewind the clocks and go back to the time when they had us in slavery and they were living their best life. Well, they were having their heaven. See what I'm saying? That's what they mean. That's over. Look around. It's over. Our Father is correcting the ship. It's over. Your dreamland, your heaven, it's over. Hell awaits you. Hell, not a place, condition. You are on your way to the bottom. You're on your way to be killed, persecuted, oppressed, and enslaved. Enslaved. You are not escaping. You will not escape. Will not. Let's get Isaiah chapter 10. We'll start at verse 12. Wherefore it shall come. I was going to apologize, you guys, for going on a tangent. I know I like to stay on topic, you know what I mean, when I'm doing stuff, but you know, y'all just ride with me in the spirit, fam. You know what I mean? Like when you belong to the Most High, man, he directs your mouth. He gives you the spirit of counsel. He directs you. He puts the words in your mouth. And when I'm talking, when I'm speaking, it ain't me. I promise you. This is what the man of the Lord sounds like. This is what he does. He utilizes us. We are really indeed his avatars. You get what I'm saying? He speaks through his men. He's taking over. He's saying what he wants to be said. It don't matter what I want to say. He's saying what he wants to be said. And while he has the ears of his people, he's edifying two different groups right now. All right? He's edifying his elect. He's edifying the 2/3. He's edifying the Gentiles and the heathens. Right? Yes. And I said two groups. That's because the 2/3 of his people are crammed into that same boat with the Gentiles and the heathens. All them, they're all in the same boat. His elect on a completely different ship. All right. Wherefore it shall come to pass, meaning it's a promise, it will happen, that when the Lord hath performed his whole work upon Mount Zion, what does it mean? And on Jerusalem, meaning after he has punished us completely. That's what whole work means. After he has completely punished us, and we have paid that uttermost farthing. Okay, that's what he means. He did it over many, many years, hundreds of years worth of kicking our asses into shape. All right. Wherefore it shall come to pass that when the Lord hath performed his whole work upon Mount Zion, the southern kingdom, and on Jerusalem, the northern kingdom, I will punish the fruit of the stout heart of the king of Assyria and the glory of his high looks. Right? And you gotta have an eye for spiritual matters. Okay? For spiritual matters. I understand when things are being applied, who they're being applied to. Okay? And understand, and it's important that when you see things being used to directly speak to a certain people group, what you also need to do is you need to look at that and use that to get an understanding of the character of the Most High. How does he get down? How does he conduct himself? So then you know he's the same always. So that means he's given this as an example of what he's going to do to them. But this isn't restricted to the king of Assyria. See, this is him saying what I'm going to do to the king of Assyria, to use this as an example to everybody else. You better know that everybody who was guilty of the same thing, these people right here were guilty of that I'm about to punish, you're going to get the same punishment, just like when he was speaking to us directly about how he was going to punish us for our wickedness. Yes, he was talking to us, but that should lead you to believe and understand that for all of you who are guilty of the same things, or guilty of anything of the like or worse, that the punishment will fall to you as well. Okay? For he said, by the strength of my hand I have done it, and by my wisdom, for I am prudent, and I have removed the bounds of the people, and I have robbed their treasures, and I have put down the inhabitants like a valiant man. What he's saying is, they were prideful. He hates prideful people. He hates people who don't give him credit. because they thought that they were so powerful. They were the reason why they were able to, that the Israelites had fallen. They had no understanding or idea that it was the Most High that gave us into their hands. Same way now. These people think they're special. They think they're something. They think they're the shit. They think they, by their own might, subdued the holy people of Israel. They think they did it. No, it was him that did it. And you guys are a prideful people, the same as the rulership of Assyria. The same. Right? That's why he's going to punish the fruit of your stout heart and the glory of your high looks the same way he did them. That is his way. That is his way. And my hand hath found as a nest the riches of the people, and as one gathereth eggs that are left, have I gathered all the earth. And there was none that moved the wing, or opened the mouth, or peeped. Shall the axe boast itself against him that heweth therewith? Or shall the saw magnify itself against him that shaketh it? And what he's saying is, like, I'm responsible. I used you. You are in my hands. I used you as a weapon for me. You didn't do anything for yourself. The same way an axe doesn't pick itself up and go to work. A gun doesn't pick itself up and shoot anybody. It's just an instrument. Somebody has to be the one to use it. Who are you? Who's more to be feared, the instrument or the person behind the instrument? The person using the instrument, which is more mighty? This is what he's saying. As if the rod should shake itself against them that lift it up. Foolishness, right? Or as if the staff should lift up itself, as if it were no wood. Thinking yourself to be more than you are. It's foolishness. He's laughing when he says this, I guarantee you. Therefore shall the Lord of hosts, send among his fat ones leanness. And under his glory, he shall kindle a burning like the burning of a fire. And the light of Israel shall be for a fire, and his Holy One for a flame. Whose Holy One? Israel. For a flame. And it shall burn and devour his thorns and his briars in one day, and shall consume the glory of his forest and of his fruitful field, both soul and body. And they shall be as when a standard bearer fainted. And the rest of the trees of his forest shall be few, that a child may write them. A remnant will return. Isaiah chapter 10, verse 20. And it shall come to pass in that day. What does it mean, class? It will come to pass. It is a promise, right? That the remnant of Israel and such as are escaped of who? The house of Jacob shall no more again stay upon him that smote them, but shall stay upon the Lord, the Holy One of Israel, in truth. So we know this is future prophecy, right? Not one that already come to pass, right? Okay, because this hasn't happened yet, right? Okay, the remnant shall return, even the remnant of Jacob, unto the mighty power. The remnant. Why only a remnant? Because a great portion of his people will be destroyed and be killed. If this is going to happen to his own people, his own children, his own chosen, his own beloved that pissed him off, what the fuck do you think is going to happen to you? I got to keep stressing this because you guys think you're going to get away. His own people don't get away. His own children don't get off the hook, but you're going to get off? Madness. The remnant shall return, even the remnant of Jacob, unto the mighty power. For though thy people, Israel, be as the sand of the sea, yet a remnant of them shall return. The consumption decreed shall overflow with righteousness. For the Lord power of hosts shall make a consumption, even determined in the midst of all the land. Therefore, thus saith the Lord power of hosts, O my people, what people? That dwellest in Zion. Zion, it's not just a place, it's is his people. Wherever his people are, that's the place. O my people that dwellest in Zion, be not afraid of the Assyrian. Let's reword this. O my people that dwellest in Zion, be not afraid of the European. Be not afraid of the American rulership. Be not afraid of the United Kingdom rulership. Wherever you are, be not afraid of them who oppress you and are over you at this time. He shall smite thee with the rod and shall lift up his staff against thee after the manner of Egypt. For yet a very little while. Listen, this is a promise to his people. All right. For yet a very little while, because this is a little while in his eyes. To us, it's been a long time. A long time. But for him, it's been but a short while. For yet a very little while, and the indignation shall cease. And mine anger in their destruction. Okay, this is a promise that it will come to an end. He ain't going to be mad forever, right? He has to whoop us. He has to break out that belt and strike fire on our asses. You feel what I'm saying? He had to do it because we deserve that shit. Don't ever forget that. It's not before his mercy that we're able to be in the position we're in right now. It's nothing that we've done. We are unworthy. He just loves us more than our iniquity required him to be wroth with us. Verse 26, and the Lord of hosts shall stir up a scourge for him, according to the slaughter of Midian at the rock of Oreb. And as his rod was upon the sea, so shall he lift it up after the manner of Egypt. And it shall come to pass in that day that his burden shall be taken away from off thy shoulder, and his yoke from off thy neck, and the yoke shall be destroyed because of the anointing. You hear that? You know this is still to come. This is not something that took place already. And no, it hasn't been made of non-effect because of your Jesus. Saying you're a Christian. You feel me? You got to deal with this. Can't get away. Can't get away. You have a date with the sword. Isaiah chapter 11. And there shall come forth a rod out of the stem of Jesse, and a branch shall grow out of his roots. This is a forecast of Yahushua to come. And the spirit of the Lord Yahweh shall rest upon him, the spirit of wisdom and understanding, the spirit of counsel and might, and the spirit of knowledge and the fear of the Lord. These are the fruit of the spirit. These are the fruit of the spirit. Right? And shall make him of quick understanding in the fear of Yahweh. And he shall not judge after the sight of his eyes, neither reprove after the hearing of his ears. But with righteousness shall he judge the poor, and reprove with equity for the meek of the earth. He shall judge the poor. He shall reprove with equity for the meek of the earth. This is not you people, Christians. This is not you white folks. You are not the meek of the earth. All you people, like you guys hate poverty. You always want to distance yourself from us and being like us, but you want to try to make the scriptures fit you when they obviously fit us. And he shall smite the earth with the rod of his mouth, and with the breath of his lips shall he slay the wicked. And righteousness shall be the girdle of his loins, and faithfulness the girdle of his reins. See, he's doing all of this right now. He's smiting the earth with the rod of his mouth right now. That's us. That's us. That's what we're doing right now. As his men, as his avatars. He's using us. He's speaking through us. We are his mouthpieces. He's slaying them with his words. These words that we're speaking, The righteous, when we pray and we're praying against this place, that's a weapon. We are slaying the wicked with our prayers, with what we talk into existence, because he that is in us is great. He speaks things and they happen, right? When you become one with him, he is in you. You are able to speak things and they happen because of he that is in you. Understand how that works? And righteousness shall be the girdle of his loins, and faithfulness the girdle of his reins. The wolf also shall dwell with the lamb, and the leopard shall lie down with the kid, and the calf and the young lion and the fatling together, and the little child shall lead them. What is the point of this? For you to understand that what he's talking about here, this is for the future. This is not something that has already happened. He's giving you this so that you know the seasons, the time periods, when stuff is for. We know that this is for the latter end, because this obviously will have to happen in the end of times, because it hasn't happened yet. Wolves don't dwell with lambs. Leopards don't lie down with the baby goats. The calves and the young lion and the fatling don't lay down and chill together, and little children don't lead them. So you know it is to come. Future projection, okay? It is a projection that has not come yet, a prophecy that has not been fulfilled yet. The Most High's prophecies and his words, his promises have not been made of non-effect because of Christianity. Just because you don't believe in it doesn't mean he has been made of non-effect. Doesn't mean his word has been made void. He said his word will not be void. Not be. Okay? And the suckling child shall play on the hole of the asp. What? Here I'm going. Skipping again. I know y'all out there reading. Each one reach one. Slow down. Slow down. You're skipping shit. My bad, y'all. My fault. It's a lot. And the cow and the bear shall feed. Their young ones shall lie down together. And the lion shall eat straw like the ox. The lion shall eat straw. You know this hasn't happened yet. And the suckling child shall play on the hole of the asp. And the weaned child shall put his hand on the cockatrice's den. They shall not hurt nor destroy in all my holy mountain. This holy mountain is his people, meaning there's going to be nothing that will hurt or harm his people, that animals will be in subjection to us. Picture that, a world where the animals are ruled over by the people and they will not cause any harm nor hurt to the children of the power. I know, Christians, you wish that you had this inheritance coming, that you wish that this was something you could look forward to, but it is not for you. You know he's talking about Israel, right? You know this. This is nothing that you can try to mangle and twist and turn to make it fit you. It's nothing that you can mingle into your own doctrine. This doesn't help you, right? And then that day, there shall be a root of Jesse, which shall stand for an ensign of the people. To it shall the Gentiles seek, and his rest shall be glorious. They're going to seek. They're going to seek. He says, which shall stand for an ensign of the people. To it shall the Gentiles seek. This hasn't happened yet. They don't believe in Yahushua. They believe in Jesus. This has not happened. The restored remnant, the restored, not the cast away, not the forsaken, the restored remnant. Prophecy about what is going to happen to his people. Prophecy of the Old Testament don't fit the doctrine of Christianity. This is why they hate the Old Testament. But sorry, Christians, you can't throw it out because it doesn't make you feel good. Verse 11, and it shall come to pass in that day. What day? The end times, when all of this stuff happens that we just finished speaking about. And it shall come to pass, this is a promise, that the Lord shall set his hand again, the second time, to recover the remnant of his people, which shall be left from Assyria, and from Egypt, and from Pathros, and from Cush, and from Elam, and from Shinar, and from Hamath, and from the islands of the sea. And he shall set up an ensign for the nations, and shall assemble the outcasts of Christianity. Oh shit, my bad. I forgot my reading glasses, y'all. And assemble the outcasts of Israel and gather together the dispersed of the earth. Wait a minute, let me look a little closer. Oh, of Judah from the four corners of the earth. The four corners. Does a ball have corners? I'm just wondering. Look, Christians out there losing their mind. The earth is round, man. But I thought you believed in the Bible. The Most High tells you what this earth is designed like. Four corners. How you get four corners on a ball? See, so I'm saying they want to believe in science and the Bible at the same time, but really believe in neither at the same time. It's the weirdest shit. You feel what I'm saying? It's the weirdest shit. And gather together the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth. What is that inferring? That in the end times, his people will be spread out into all the nations. All the nations, because they had been taken captive by all the nations. What people were taken as slaves and captives into all the nations of the earth, into all far reaches of and corners of the earth? Which people? You know, the envy also of Ephraim shall depart. Listen, and the adversaries of Judah shall be cut off. Listen, the envy of Ephraim shall depart. Why is it saying this? What is Ephraim, Christians? It's one of the sons of Joseph, right? Who was one of the 12 sons of Israel, right? Right. Ephraim being the lead tribe of the northern kingdom, right? Right. And why say the envy of Ephraim? Because Judah, us, Judites, we spent a lot of time envying them because they didn't have it as hard as we had. They were getting some blessings that we couldn't enjoy, right? So we had, again, it's because of that divide the Most High put between us. He caused envy and hatred to exist between the northern and southern kingdom, right? Listen what he's saying. The envy also of Ephraim shall depart, and the adversaries of Judah shall be cut off. Judah, these so-called Negroes, the adversaries of Judah shall be what? Cut off. Not allowed to be grafted in. They won't be wild olive branches. No, they will be cut off. Ephraim shall not envy Judah. That's the northern kingdom Israelites. The Gentiles will not envy Judah because we are the head tribe, right? We are the lead tribe. We are the tribe that Yahushua, our Lord and Savior, came out of. So there's an envy, a two-way envy, back and forth, right? Both sides envy and hate one another for different reasons, right? Ephraim shall not envy Judah, and Judah shall not vex Ephraim. This is the reason why in the New Testament, the southern kingdom, Judah, was upset about the Gentiles receiving the word. See, it's this, that they were cut off from each other. They were made to not get along. They were separated from one another and made enemies. The Most High cut off the northern kingdom and removed them. Judah was not supposed to mingle with the northern kingdom anymore because of how mad the Most High got at the northern kingdom. So Judah became the envy of the northern kingdom, and the northern kingdom became, vexed by Judah. See, and Judah shall not vex Ephraim, shall not vex him. That's what you see all through the north, through the early parts of the New Testament. Judah, the southern kingdom, vexing the Gentiles by custom and practice, which were the northern kingdom Israelites, hating them, mad at them, not wanting them to receive the word, not wanting them to be saved, not wanting them to be recovered, not wanting them to come back into the fold, wanted them to stay out there in the cold where the Most High pushed them. That was vexation. Trying to keep them away from salvation. That was vexation of Ephraim by Judah. But they shall fly upon the shoulders of the Philistines toward the west. They shall spoil them of the east together. They shall lay their hand upon Edom and Moab, and the children of Ammon shall obey them. See, he so loved the world that he's going to lift up his people and cause his people to put hands and lay their hands upon these other nations and take them into captivity and spoil them. Spoil them. Really? And he loves everybody? Christianity, boy, that doctrine got y'all fucked up. What you don't know, it won't hurt you, it'll kill you. Verse 15. And the Lord Yahweh shall utterly destroy the tongue of the Egyptian sea, and with his mighty wind shall he shake his hand over the river, and shall smite it in the 7 streams, and make men go over dry shod. And there shall be an highway for the remnant of his people, which shall be left from Assyria, like as it was to Israel in the day that he came up out of the land of Egypt. Isaiah chapter 12, verse 1. And in that day thou shalt say, O Yahweh, I will praise thee, though thou wast angry with me. Thine anger is turned away, and thou comfortest me. See, his anger is turned away. He's talking because it's a future projection, saying in the time when he saves us, when he stops being angry with us, and he starts fighting for us again, and he lifts us up, and he brings us close to himself again. See, time to come. We're in those times now, but we have not reached the fulfillment of all of this. You know what I'm saying? But we are in the beginning of this season, Thanksgiving Express. We are expressing Thanksgiving right now. We are saying, Yahweh, I will praise thee. Though you were angry with me, your anger is turned away, and thou comfortest me. Say that right now, Israel. Say it right now. Read verse 1 again to yourself. I will praise thee. Thou was angry with me. Thine anger is turned away, and thou comfortest me. All praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahashem HaMashiach, Yahweh Shai. Doing this right now, Israel, working his mighty work on us as we speak. Behold, Yahweh, the Most High, is my salvation. I will trust and not be afraid. For the Lord Yahweh is my strength and my song. He also is become my salvation. Just like it wasn't possible for the Most High Son to be named Jesus. You couldn't have an Israelite man named Jesus. There was no J's in the language. You couldn't have had the power. His name could not have been Jehovah. Could not have been. Okay? There also were no O's. You know what I'm saying? There was no vowels in Hebrew. Okay? Like this is just it's impossible for this to be the name. But of course, why would our enemy who take the book and translate it, why would they put the powerful name of the Most High in the book when they know that his name gives us power and strength? That he prophesied that when we start to call on his name again, that we will start to unravel all the blessings of our persecutors. Why would they put his name in the book for us to call on when they know that his name and us calling on that name is directly linked to their fall? Why would they put his true name there? They wouldn't do it. Therefore, with joy shall ye draw water out of the wells of salvation. What is that? That's the book. With joy, we are drawing water out of the wells of salvation. This book is where we're drawing the wells of salvation. The living waters. We're drawing the living waters out of the wells, the scriptures. The wells of salvation is the scriptures. If you aren't reading the scriptures, you are not drawing out the water out of the wells of salvation. You might want to start studying. Well, you're studying now, but you might want to spend time personally in the scriptures and praying without ceasing, y'all. I'm telling you, pray without ceasing. And in that day shall ye say, praise Yahweh. Say it. This is the day they're talking about. Say it. Praise the Lord Yahweh. Call upon his name. Declare his doings among the people. Is that not what we're doing? Is that not what I'm doing right now? Is this not the manifestation of his word? Am I not doing what he told me to do? Holy Spirit led. This is what's going on. Declare his doings among the people. Make mention that his name is exalted. Sing unto Yahweh, for he hath done excellent things that is known in all the earth. Cry out and shout, thou inhabitant of Zion, for great is the Holy One of Israel in the midst of thee. Where is the Holy One of Israel? In the midst of thee. Where is the Holy One of Israel, Zion? In the midst of us. Not the whole world, not the entire earth, not all the people, in the midst of us. Khan? All right. All right. Moving on. Thank you guys for staying with me. I love you guys, man. You guys are great. You know what I mean? Like, you guys have a thirst for this word. You guys truly love the Most High. That's why you guys are eating up these hour and 15-minute videos, man. Like, you have an extreme hunger for this word. Your soul can't be quenched. You got to keep getting it. I understand. I watch my own videos. I watch Brother Matthias. I watch all my brothers out there that are in this truth, that are among the elect of Israel. I watch your videos. I follow, I watch, I support. I can't get enough because I have a true love for my power. My spirit cannot be quenched. I can't get enough. I don't watch TV and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? Chapter 13, verse 1. The burden of Babylon, which Isaiah the son of Amos did see. Lift ye up a banner upon the high mountain. Exalt the voice unto them. Shake the hand, that they may go into the gates of the nobles. I have commanded my sanctified ones. I have also called my mighty ones from mine anger, even them that rejoice in my highness. The noise of a multitude in the mountains, like as of a great people, a tumultuous noise of the kingdoms of nations gathered together. Yahweh of hosts mustereth the host of the battle. They come from a far country, from the end of heaven, even Yahweh and the weapons of his indignation, to destroy the whole land. Howl ye, for the day of Yahweh is at hand. It shall come as a destruction from the Almighty. The day of Yahweh is at hand, people. It's at hand. What does it mean when something is at hand? It's close. It's close. It shall come. Not maybe, not might, not only if Jesus comes and saves me. No, it shall come as a destruction from the Almighty. Therefore shall all hands be faint, and every man's heart shall melt. And they shall be afraid. Pangs and sorrows shall take hold of them. They shall be in pain as a woman that travaileth, meaning a woman in labor. They shall be amazed one at another. Their faces shall be as flames. Why shall they be amazed one at another? Because it's going to be an astonishment when they see what's happening, when they realize that they didn't get raptured, they didn't get taken out of here, when they realize that the almighty power, he doesn't look like them. He's not a white man. They're going to be amazed one at another, like, we can't believe it. Oh no, what are we going to do? Die. That's what you're going to do. Or go into captivity. That's it. One or the other. Behold, the day of the Lord cometh, cruel, both with wrath and fierce anger. But I thought he loved all the people. I thought he loved all the people. He loved all the people so much that he gave up his own only begotten son to die for all the people, only to be cruel, both with wrath and fierce anger against the people. Huh? Something doesn't add up. Let's get it again. Behold, the day of the Lord cometh. It's on the way. Cruel. Cruel. It's going to be cruel because they thought they was going to be saved. These people, they think they're going to get raptured. He allowed them to believe this phony doctrine. That's the cruelness. He allowed them to believe a lie. He allowed them to be given a delusion, sold a delusion that they believe in wholeheartedly. That's the cruelty. That's the cruelty. Cruel, both with wrath and fierce anger, to lay the land desolate, and he shall destroy the sinners thereof out of it. Doesn't sound like he loved everybody to me, y'all. Somebody lied. For the stars of heaven and the constellations thereof shall not give their light. The sun shall be darkened in his going forth, and the moon shall not cause her light to shine. And I will punish the world for their evil, and the wicked for their iniquity. And I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease, and I will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible. Who are the terrible? The people in power. These terrible, evil people who have done every manner of wicked thing that you can imagine to the Israelite people. See, they're trying to whitewash history right now. So student kids in school cannot be taught and learn about all the wickedness and evilness of these people. They're trying to prevent people from learning how evil and wicked they were. Like that's going to stop the judgment of the Most High from coming down on them if they lie to the children right now. Like they got time. You don't got time for all that. You don't have time for all that. You're wasting time, right? These people are haughty and proud and arrogant, evil, wicked, lost in iniquity, and they will be punished. He said, I will. He didn't say he's going to think about it, y'all. He didn't say, I will do it unless Jesus show up. That's not what he said. I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than the golden wedge of a fur. Why does he say that? Because he's going to do so much wiping out, y'all, that men are going to be few and far between, right? Men are going to be few and far between. There's going to be an extremely small number of men of all the earth, right? Few and far between. That's going to make the men more precious. But it's his men, more specifically, his men are going to be more precious than fine gold, even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir. Therefore, I will shake the heavens, and the earth shall remove out of her place, in the wrath of the Lord of hosts, and in the day of his fierce anger. And it shall be as the chaste roe, and as a sheep that no man taketh up. They shall every man turn to his own people, and they shall every man turn to his own people and do what? And flee every one into his own land. Sounds like separation. Doesn't sound like the Most High is going to mingle a bunch of people together that come from different walks of life as long as they believe in Jesus. No, it's going to be a separation of the people, the way he's always meant it to be from the beginning. He gave every group of people their own space, their own territory to occupy, and said, don't mingle. You guys, I'm gonna put you over here. You stay on this land. You over here. Y'all stay on this land. Okay? That's what he said. And he set up a system in place. He set up checks and balances so that anybody who goes against his word, there would be a judgment. There would be punishment. For you white folks, for you non-melanated people, that you guys are supposed to be in cold areas, places with snow, cold places, right? Cold environments, right? Not places that are hot, not places that are temperate. You're supposed to be in cold environments only. And your punishment for leaving out of the land that he put you in, for coming out of the restricted boundary that he put you in is, okay, if you come out and you go into these lands you're not supposed to go in, you're going to suffer all sorts of health effects, negative health effects because of that. Skin cancer is going to fuck you up. Okay? Why is it that the people in Israel right now, they have one of the highest skin cancer rates in all of the world? Why is that? You mean to tell me these same people right now who have like some of the highest skin cancer rates in all of the world in a time with sunscreen, that they existed in the ancient world with no sunscreen, slaving and laboring in the hot ass fucking Egyptian sun? Stop the fucking madness. Right damn now. Not right now, but right fucking now. Right? Everyone that is found shall be thrust through. Listen, everyone that is found shall be thrust through. That means killed. That means stabbed. That means wounded. That means hurt. Thrust through, taking you out. And everyone that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword. Everybody that's with the enemies, everybody who's with them, you're in trouble. You better separate yourselves from the enemies of the Most High. Anybody that hate the so-called Negro, you better separate yourselves from them, or you're going to be partakers in their judgment. Their children also shall be dashed to pieces before their eyes. Their houses shall be spoiled and their wives ravished. Oh yeah, that's judgment. That's the Most High turning everything upside down. See, because he did this to his children. He allowed this to happen to his children. Our children were dashed in pieces by the so-called white man. Our houses were spoiled. Our wives were raped and ravished during slavery. And what is the Most High's promise? That everything you guys did to us, we will do to you. That's what he said. This is a promise. This will happen. Can't escape it. Can't get out of it. Behold, I will stir up the Medes against them, which shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in it. Their bows also shall dash the young men to pieces, and they shall have no pity on the fruit of the womb. Their eyes shall not spare children. These people, our enemies, did not spare our children. They had no pity on the babies. They would cut our women open and have contests and gamble. Hey, Jim Bob, hey, let's cut this new nigga woman open and see who's gonna die first, her or the baby. Evil motherfuckers did not spare the children or the fruit of the womb. Evil. And Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees' excellency, shall be as when the Most High overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. It shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be dwelt there from generation to generation. Neither shall the Arabian pitch tent there, neither shall the shepherds make their fold there. This is to come. Hasn't happened yet. Get ready. But wild beasts of the desert shall lie there, and their houses shall be full of doleful creatures, and owls shall dwell there, and satyrs shall dance there. And the wild beasts of the islands shall cry in their desolate houses, and dragons in their pleasant palaces. And her time is near to come, and her days shall not be prolonged. That'll do it for this installment of Christianity versus the Bible, everybody. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Thank you for learning. Thank you for giving me your ear. Giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem HaMashiach, Yahweh Shai. All praise is due. All praise is due to the Holy One of Israel. Stay blessed out there, elect. You Gentiles, you heathens. If you made it this far, if you're paying attention and you didn't just get convicted and run up out of here because this is some scary shit to sit through, hey, it's better for you to know than to not know. Have your head in the sand will not protect you. At least you have the opportunity now to try to do something, to try to cling, to try to bless his people, to try to lessen your punishment. Better to know than not know. You know what I mean? Know what I mean, Vern? That's for the old folks. Young folks like, what the fuck you mean by that? The old folks know what's up. All right, y'all. Again, that's it. This has been dragged out long enough. We're gonna go ahead and put this wrapping on there and put this bow tie on that bad boy. And I'm gonna shoot this gift out to y'all. ASAP. Stay blessed out there, Israel. Shalom.